Hey, good evening, good evening, good evening. Special edition of Conversations with Mr. Clark. I got to come here, let you guys know what's going on right now because we need your help. We need your help. So I'm calling everybody live watching on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I'm calling on your help right now because we are doing the first annual Justice and Accountability March. It'll be scheduled for March 18th of next year, and we need your help. So the goal is for everybody that's watching right now to send me a message, go to my email the foundation, figure out how you can be part of the movement and not the moment. Our email is iamsacfoundation@gmail, and my Instagram, you have me on here, so make sure you contact me. Right now, I'm at my office at Stefan's house. Let me get down. And I am wearing the hat that says Think Jesus. Let me zoom in a little bit. Right there. All right, so this is what's going on, you guys. So next Monday, we are having our first planning and organizational meeting here at Stefan's. And what we will be doing is going over the logistics, the planning, the finances, the marketing, the structure, everything it takes to make a successful march happen. And I am willing to be a part of it 1,000% of the way. But I don't want this march to be organized by community leaders or community activists. I want it to be organized by you, the people. And the goal is to have a justice and accountability march on not some levels, but all levels. And the way we do that is by coming together, not making it about ourselves. Somebody told me the other day, said, Stevante, Mr. Clark, I don't really support you, and I don't think you're a real activist. You know what I told them? I don't give a damn. I'm not in this for you. I'm in this for my brother's legacy. I'm my brother's keeper. I'm here and there to make sure his name lives on in a positive light for generations. I didn't sign up to fight for y'all asses because you're ungrateful when I fight for you in the first place. So why the hell would I want to fight for you? I want to fight for somebody who's going to fight for themselves. And this is your opportunity to fight for yourselves. Help me fight with you. I'm just the ally. I'm here. I'm with you in the movement, but I'm just the ally in this movement with you. And the Justice and Accountability March is an international march that's going to be happening here in Sacramento that we are spearheading. It's going to be a multicultural, multi-diverse, the most diverse Justice and Accountability March in the history of all marches. We are calling for the women who demand action to join us, the moms that demand action to join us, the women that have been abused and affected by domestic violence and work abuse and verbal abuse. We calling on you. We calling on the kids that have been in foster care, that have been wrongly terrorized by the system. We want your voices. We want to hear your stories. We want to connect you with the movement. And the way we do that is by providing a platform for we, the people. And we have a simple actionable items. Number one, justice and accountability on all levels for our dear brother Stephon Alonzo Clark. Number two, we want to reopen all the cases that have been closed and not investigated by these crooked police departments, these crooked district attorneys, these crooked attorney generals, these crooked systems. And number three, we want to get the George Floyd Policing Act passed, not now, not right now, but yesterday. And we also have our own set of actionable items when it pertains to the movement, such as bridging the gap between law enforcement and at-risk communities. We must have these tough conversations. I believe in having community listening and learning sessions to have these conversations. There's no way we can bridge the gap if we're talking at each other and not to each other. How do you plan on bridging the gap with your community if you're talking at each other and not to each other? And the musicians and the artists and the influencers, y'all got the platform. Y'all got what the people call the clout. Use it. Use it in a positive light by helping out with the Justice and Accountability March. What do you do for your community? Do you only do community service when the court appoints or tells you that if you don't do that work project, you're going to jail? Is that the only time you do community service? If so, shame on you. Shame, shame, shame on you. Because you want to call for accountability for everybody else except yourself. So shame on you. Coming together in this march looks different. Because what we're trying to do is leave the message that Governor Gavin Newsom told me. Governor Gavin Newsom told me this. He said, when California sneezes, the rest of America catches a cold. We want to sneeze so hard on these people that they understand they can't miss out on this march. They need to understand the importance of this march. They need to understand that we are calling for justice for the Asian community, justice for our Hispanic community, justice and accountability for our Black community, justice and accountability for our LGBTQ community, justice and accountability on not some levels, but all levels. And how are we going to do that? The answer is coming together. That's why I need your help to join these planning committees. I would not be doing this if I did not need your help. I'm damn near begging. Because the help that you put in when it comes to the movement won't just go towards you, but it'll go to your future's children's children, to make sure they live in a better environment, a better world than we grew up in. Because it shouldn't be for us. That's selfish. I don't do this shit for me. That'd be selfish. Number two, because we just said bridge the gap. We have to bridge the gap between community and community. But before we bridge the gap between law, I have to get along with my brother. I have to be like, brother, stand by me. This needs to be a 1,000,000-man march. I need every Black man in America at the state capitol on March 18th. I need every Black man in America joining this organization community, because it should not happen. It shouldn't be only Farrakhan leading an 1,000,000-man march for Black people or us Black men. We need to come together and do our own 1,000,000-man march. And I'm putting my hat out there saying I'm in it. I want to help. I'm down to help. I'm for the cause. I'm for the people. I'm with the movement, not the moment. Number one is bridging the gap. We got to come together as a community to bridge the gap before we bridge any types of gaps within elected officials, within law enforcement, within community leaders, within businesses. Any kind of gap we want to bridge, we must start with ourselves. Number two, inform and educate. Inform and educate. The word inform. The word inform means to give facts. Okay? The word educate means to give moral, social, or intellectual instruction. Our job within this movement is to inform and educate on policy and legislative change. What we plan on doing on March 18th at the state capitol is informing and educating on not just SB 1421, not just AB 391. Not just George Floyd Policing Act, but to inform and educate, to give facts, and to morally, socially, or intellectually instruct the people on what the hell is going on when it comes to policy and legislative change. And the way I break that down, so because a lot of people, believe it or not, don't know what policy and legislative change is. Policy and legislative change is legacy on paper. That's what the Stephon Clark law is. It's legacy on paper. And if we're not putting the legacy on paper to prevent Stephon Clark's from ever happening again, we are failing, God damn it, failing. And I want no parts of your failures. No. Because every loss that I took was a lesson. I've learned more of my losses than my wins. That's why I keep moving. That's why I keep elevating. That's why I keep succeeding. That's why I keep growing. That's why I keep manipulating moves to get where I need to go, to get things done to where we need to go further in the movement. Because I'm not out there just talking about it. I'm being about it. I'm not just talking about the problems. I'm being about the solutions. I'm out here plotting. I'm planning. I'm mobilizing. I'm organizing. I'm centralizing. I'm strategizing. I'm weaponizing. I'm coming together for actionable items, not for me, but for the movement. If you keep thinking about yourself, the community will not grow. The community will not be sustainable. The community will not fit into the inclusive economic development formula and platform and basis that we're trying to get to. Number 3, simple. Provide resources and healing spaces. How is this march going to provide resources and healing spaces, you ask? This is how the march will do that. At this march, it will be ran by the families. So imagine the Eric Garner family, the Oscar Grant family, the Stephon Clark family, all those families. If we are coming together and bringing those families together, so that way they could have the platform to do their own marches, to have the platform to raise money for their own foundations, to have the platform to raise money for what they want to do in commemorations of their loved ones, then we're on to something. This march is like FUBU, for us, by us. Jeff Johnson wrote a message on my Facebook comments. He said, you want to do all the talking, yet you never respond to inboxes on anything. So listen to your own talk. First off, Jeff Johnson, I'm not shy to run off from anything. But don't you come on my conversations, especially with Mr. Clark, and talk about you. It's not about you right now. It's about the Justice and Accountability March. And if I'm not responding to your message, there's more ways to get at me through email. Obviously, I'm busy within the movement, Mr. Johnson. So you need to respect that, brother. And if you do do that again, you won't get a listen at all, okay? And I do listen to my own talk. I do practice what I preach, unlike a lot of those activists out there. And you can find me at Stephon's house. I'm always here, always working. When I'm not here, I'm at home working. Even when I'm sleeping, I'm working. So just a little message to you, Mr. Johnson. Don't come on here. This is not the platform for you to go out there and talk what the hell you want to talk. You message me privately. And any further comments from you will have you blocked from not only these social media, but from the movement, because I don't have the time for your shit right now unless it's helping move this march forward. Number 4 is commemorate life and legacy in a positive light. And I don't mean to, let me say this, because I've been called a lot of things. So let me say this to everybody. I love everybody. I do. I'm flooded with messages within the movement. I'm flooded with a lot of comments. I'm flooded with a lot of stories people want me to put out there. I'm just flooded with a lot of things. So sometimes I don't mean to be as aggressive as I am, but sometimes, the world is too damn soft, okay? And I'm not going to sugarcoat shit. I'm not going to be sweet or nothing like that. I'm going to be straight up and straightforward. If you don't like the message, if you don't, bye. I am just a voice and vessel for Stephon Clark. Let's make that very, 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 very clear. That's why I said I need y'all help to come help with this shit. Because I'm not John Lewis out here, you guys. I'm not Dr. King. I'm not Malcolm X. I'm Stevante Clark. And Stevante Clark is Stephon Clark. And Stephon Clark is the people. And I'm trying to help Stephon, the people, to prevent Stephon's from ever happening again. For the people. Help me, help you. Help me, help you. Number 4. That leads me to number 4. Commemorate the life and ongoing legacy of my dear brother, Stephon Clark, in a positive light, so that his name may live on for generations and generations and generations. I do everything I do for my brother. I have another brother that died due to community violence. I lost a sister as well. I grew up in foster care for some of my life. I went through hell, man. I'm a walking testimony because I shouldn't be here. They called me crazy. They said they said I wouldn't be shit. They said they counted me out. And yet I'm here through the grace of God. And if I can make it through everything that I went through publicly, damn it, we're gonna be all right. Number 4 is to commemorate the life and legacy of my dear brother. My dear brother. Everything I do for Stephon. Me going to jail was not for nothing. Me have to go to the mental institution was not for nothing. Me having to endure the public scrutiny, being ostracized and kicked out the church was not for nothing. It was to make sure my brother's name does not go in vain. And I'm not just planning this march for the families. We have some guest speakers as well in this march. One of the guest speakers is Benjamin Crump. Attorney Benjamin Crump is a confirmed guest speaker. Another guest speaker, I wasn't going to announce it, but I'm going to announce it anyway. He probably wouldn't care. Sean King, our dear friend Sean King will be speaking as well. And I'm actually adding to that list. Everybody love everybody. Number 5. Number 5 is I don't have all the answers. I'm going to be straight up. I don't have all the answers. I never claim to have all the answers. I don't want to have all the answers. So I need your help. I am here to receive recommendations from you, the people, on how to prevent Stephon Clark from ever happening again. I need your help on that part. I need your help on preventing Oscar Grants from happening again. Preventing George Floyd's, Breonna Taylor's, so on and so forth from ever happening again. Because I can't do it alone. And number 6, if you look in the Bible, the good book, the Word of God, it says, John 15:12, it says, love each other as I have loved you. Right? And if you skip down to John 15:18 in that same scripture, John 15:18, it says love. It says, if the world hates you for that, if the world hates you for the love I just told you to give, if the world hates you, no, they hated me long before they ever hated you. That's John 15:18, right under John 15:12. That's what it says. That's what the word says, not me. I'm here with love. Even if I cuss your ass out, it's with love. The fight we have, the stories y'all see on my profile, this shit is sad, sickening. That no matter what I put, they say, Mr. Clark, you should add a trigger warning. God damn it, my whole life is a trigger warning. My whole social media is a trigger warning. God damn it, the shit I've been through, I should have to put a trigger warning on every post because I am a walking goddamn trigger warning. All the shit we went through for the movement. You have to remember, I did fight the system and live to talk about it. I literally fought the system. I didn't go to jail because I was a horrible person and whoop-de-whoop. My initial reason I went to jail originally was terroristic threats resulting in death. Look it up. They got me because they knew I was in a mental institution because they knew they couldn't silence me. So they tried to paint a picture of me that a lot of people fell for, to divide. Because they know in order to conquer, sometimes you have to divide the people. And it worked. A lot of people even talked about my brother. Oh, he didn't have a black wife. Oh, he had made mean Twitter comments. Oh, it don't matter. That's the problem. You so focused on disrespecting and talking about the dead that you are not focused on what's living, are not focused on what's got to happen, are not focused on what happened in their backyard because you so focused on tweets. What the hell is wrong with you people? Something is wrong with you people. Y'all focused on my scarf or how I look or how I dress or how I talk and how I say this and that, potato. That's why you can't get shit done because you're living in a time of not action. Yes, you damn right, Mariah Lawson. I agree with you. Shout out to Mariah Lawson. You goddamn right. This is a conversation, Mr. Clark, and you are tuned in to something that I don't call for people to come in here and fight on behalf of my brother. I'm asking people to come on in here and fight on behalf of your brother. Fight on behalf of your sister. Because your brother, your sister can go through the same thing my family went through. Don't think you excluded. I've seen white people go through what I've been through. I've seen mentally ill people. Sean Taylor was killed in Walmart. I've seen it all. I've heard it all. I fight for families that have been impacted like mine. Not because I want to, because that's how I commemorate the life and legacy of my dear brother, Stephon Clark. I didn't ask for this shit. You think I asked for this shit? You could take the building. You could take the party buses. You could take the LLCs. You could take our Justice Street cannabis. You could take the Stephon Clark law. You could have the Stephon Clark Middle School opening next year. You could have the Stephon Clark merchandise we have. You can take all the buildings we got. You can take all the business and everything, the 501c3s. You can have the foundation. You can take it all. Because I tell you what, we'd rather have our brother here with us. We'd rather have Stephon here with us. None of this shit means nothing without Stephon living, breathing here with us. You took our Christmases away. You took our Thanksgivings away. You took the life of the party away. You took our energy and our pride. You took the family away when you killed Stephon. You killed the wrong one because you didn't know he had a family that's going to fight for him. You didn't know he had a brother who was going to keep his spirit and his legacy alive no matter what. I will die for my brother and his cause. You couldn't kill me if you tried. That's how in too deep I am with my brother and this movement I do. You like your kids. I've said this numerous times. Your children. Your brother, your sister, your mama, your daddy, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife. Nobody is going to fight for you the way I fight for mine. And I can guarantee you that. I put my bottom dollar. Your own kids won't fight for you the way I will fight for my brother's legacy. And you can hate me for it. I don't give a damn because I'm not in it for likes. I'm not in it for views. I'm not in it for motherfucking money, motherfucking attention. I'm in it for one thing only. That guy, Stephon Alonzo Clark. Don't you ever get it twisted. I fight for people through Stephon Clark. Yeah, I care about people, but I fight for you people through my brother. So without Stephon, I wouldn't even be having this conversation with you. Sorry, I get a little passionate. Sorry, I do this. I get a little wild up because everybody think I'm supposed to be in here 24/7 fighting for them when they don't fight for themselves. God damn it, 22/7. There's no way you can expect people to continuously fight for you and your rights and your causes and your life and your prosperity if you don't help fight for you. And if people want to walk away, if people are not committed to the fight, if people want to be half-assed in it, 1 foot in and one, let them go. Okay? Don't write no Christmas cards. You ain't got to say goodbye. You ain't got to say see you later. You ain't got to worry about holding on to them. You ain't got to worry about attachment. You ain't got to worry about how you feel about them. You ain't got, let them go. Your vision, your success, the legacy is never connected to people who wanted to leave you in the first place, who are never connected to you in the first place. Let them go. Let them go. And this is a message to everybody. If you just looking at my Instagram and following me for shock content, the page will be private very soon, trust me. The only reason it's not because they say I'm a public official, public figure or whatever. If you ask me, I don't know how. I'm just a Stephon figure. The police killed my brother in my grandmama's backyard. Unarmed. And now I'm supposed to be a public figure. Let me remind you guys, okay? Y'all don't know me as a rapper. You don't know me as a ball player. You don't know me as an actor. Most of you know me from the news or some shit, right? Let's be honest. The mayor's desk or something. CNN. Fighting for my protesting. I'm what they would call a 15 minutes. He's 15 minutes. Give him his 15 minutes and then push him to the side. That's how they label me. I'm essentially nobody. Right? If we're speaking in society terms, who I ain't shit. My brother was killed. I wanted my voice to be heard. Oops. Let me fix that. So I spoke up. Let me repeat that. My brother was killed. I wanted my voice to be heard. So I spoke up. So I'm not famous. The word is infamous. I did not ask for this. I do not want this. I wouldn't wish these shoes, which are pretty nice shoes and comfortable, on my worst enemy. You hear me? Even though they're nice and comfortable shoes and they feel really good. I wouldn't wish these shoes on my worst enemy. Because if you have to put these shoes on, you have to understand that you'll be jailed for fighting for your brother. You'll be thrown in the mental institution. You'll be ostracized, kicked out the church, told the wrong brother died, told you're crazy, judge. You see, it's okay being, one or two people leaving hate mail and death threats. But imagine, oops, that's a spirit. Imagine thousands, hundreds and thousands of death threats and hate mail and comments and things trying to break you and all of that. Can you imagine that? Public scrutiny from thousands of people for fighting for your brother. You have to understand why I want us to come together so much. And the reason I want us to come together so much, because if we do not, we are going to go extinct. Extinct. We're going to be wiped out. I got to wrap it up soon because I want you guys to understand where I'm coming from. Deeply understand it. Deeply. Okay? So, back to the SAC 6. Number 1 on our actionable items: bridge the gap between law enforcement and at-risk communities. Number 2, inform and educate on policy and legislative change. Number 3, provide resources and healing spaces for those in our community. Number 4, commemorate the life and legacy of our dear brother Stephon Clark in a positive light for generations and generations, long after you and I have left this earth. And number 6, spread the gospel of love. Like I said, John 15:12 says, love each other as I have loved you. He says that is one of my greatest commandments. Love. All right, that's why I say it really right. And then you skip down to John 15:18. He says, if the world hates you for it, know they hated me long before they ever hated you. You have to understand. Number 1, you cannot turn chickens into eagles. Let it go. Quit trying to do it. It ain't going to happen. You cannot turn chickens into eagles. That is number 1. I've spent a lifetime trying to turn some damn chickens into eagles. And guess what? I've never been successful. Number 2, remember this. Giraffes. I'm a giraffe right now. Do not respond at the levels of turtles. Never, ever, ever, ever forget that. Giraffes don't respond at the levels of turtles. Just like you can't turn chickens into eagles. And number 3, elephants do not swat flies. These are life lessons I had to learn the hard way. My mom always told me that if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. I have to find people who are part of the solution so I can get rid of the problem. So if you got people around you that you feel like you're trying to turn into eagles and they're chickens, let them go. If you're trying to swat flies and you're an elephant, let them go. If you're trying to respond to turtles and you're a giraffe, let them. This shit is self-explanatory. And the reason I have to be so passionate and aggressive sometimes, fucking sign dropped again. Can you believe that shit? This is what asks on mental health, shit like this. So let me just move this sign right here. If you're not getting the importance of what I'm saying to you, it's probably because you're the turtle. It's probably because you're the fly. Or it's probably because you're the chicken. Figure out what the hell your role is. Figure out who you have in your life who are helping you succeed and who are taking out from your energy. Everybody don't deserve your energy. Everybody don't deserve to be called your friend. And all these guys call people their brother. Everybody ain't your brother. I realized that when Stephon died. Everybody called this nigga brother. Until he was dead. And you know what? When everybody called him brother and shit, everybody said they was fighting for Stephon. Everybody said they were Stephon. When they was, who went and jumped on the mayor's desk? Nobody else did? I did. Who went to jail for Stephon when nobody else did? I did. Who went to the crazy house when nobody else did? I did. Who was ostracized, kicked out of church, said the wrong brother died, said I was a crisis actor, said I sold my soul to the devil, said I was on. That was me. I took all that from my brother. Nobody else. So be careful on who the fuck you call your brother. Women, be careful who you call your sister. These people will love you, share makeup with you. They will go take the kids on a play date with you. And as soon as they get home, they will write mean-spirited things about you subliminally on the internet. They will down talk your children to their family. They will spite you. These people don't like y'all. Y'all think these people like y'all? The reason they open with not liking me is because my grief was public. If you grieve the way I grieve, you will be hated just as much. But look at the bounce back. The bounce back, though. You see, they thought I was going to stay in that shell. They didn't know. I never asked for the crown. I preferred the sword. I didn't want the crown. I needed the sword. Because if I had the sword, I could defend the crown. And y'all not hearing me because you're not fighting for the same things I'm fighting for, which I get it. Legacy might not be important to a lot of people. But over here on the Clark side, legacy is very important. I got to wrap it up soon. But understand that I'm not in it for the likes, and neither should you. You should be in it for the commitment, the dedication, and the will for a better tomorrow. Are you committed to a better tomorrow? Yay or nay? Yay or nay? You rather watch Netflix, HBO, Hulu, Bad Girls Club, Crazy Housewives of Sacramento and shit, instead of coming together. And that's the problem. Racism is not as big as classism is today. Materialism and individualism will the fall of you people if we don't get it together. They're telling me I gotta go. And so I'm gonna get out of here. But I want it to be known that we are fighting for a better tomorrow. We are not fighting for half-assed items. Community sustainability. A promotion of intellectual independence. The creation of inclusive economic development when it pertains to our communities. This is what we want. These are our actionable items. So, but before I get out of here, I'm going to say some names. The march I got coming up January 18th, I need your help with, guys. Because this march isn't for me. This march for Oscar Grant, Trayvon Martin, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Sandra Bland, Michael Barrera, Kobe Friday, Stephon Clark, Emmett Till, Eric Garner. This fight is for all those we have lost in this movement. And that's why it's so important that you go to IamSackFoundation@gmail and join the movement, not the moment. Because if we don't get your help, I don't know how we're going to do it. If we don't get the equal support, I don't know how we're going to do it. That's why it is so important for you to go to IamSackFoundation@gmail.com, send us a message. Send me a direct message on my Facebook or my Instagram. Be a part of the movement, not the moment. And when I say that, I'm talking about community sustainability, inclusive economic development, and a promotion of intellectual independence. We need you guys. I love you all. Bridge the gap between law enforcement and at-risk communities. Inform and educate. Provide the resources and healing spaces. Commemorate life and legacy. Receive recommendations on how to prevent Stephons. And spread the gospel of love. Everybody love everybody. That's our story. We're sticking to it. And we are here for the families of the movement, not the moment. I understand this ain't a popular fight. Nobody wants to do this work. I didn't sign up for this. But God damn it, I would hate for this to happen to your family. Then you're forced to do it. You don't want to have to be forced to do it. You want to make sure it never happens again. So that way, you don't have to get ready. You don't want to have to worry about how the healing gonna come. You don't want to worry about how you're gonna grieve and heal at the same time, because that's what I've been doing. I ain't never took a vacation. Since the death of my brother, I've never took a break. Since the death of my brother, I've been consistent and committed in this fight. They told me, well, you can't start a magazine, so I started a magazine. They said you can't own your own luxury transportation, so I bought my own luxury transportation. They said you too young to own your own business. You can't own your own business, so I bought my own business. They said you can't, so I did. They said you can't, so I did it anyway. They said you can't go there because, and I went there anyway. They said you'll never recover, so I recovered anyway. They said you killing your brother's legacy. They're not going. That's all. Then after I brought it back, now they got a law. They said they're gonna not say your brother's name. They told me they're gonna. I said, well, look, now he got a school, so they're gonna say his name every day. You see, we think different. We think different. That's it. That's it. We just think different. My speech is done, but we just think different. Because I don't do this for my first name. I do it for my last name. And I think that's what makes me and a lot of people different. I'm not thinking about Stevante. I'm thinking about the Clarks. Stefan, if you could see him right there. Let me move that up. If you can see Stefan. And this is who we do it for. Our last name, not our first. And it needs to be very clear why we're doing it. And everyone needs to understand why we're doing it. That's why if you lost somebody to community violence or police violence, send us a message. Help us with this justice and accountability march. Because this is the people's march. DC was amazing. Let's do that, DC. Let's do what we did in DC. Let's do it all over again here in California. Someone say the 5th or 6th largest economy in the world. We could do it here. But we got to come together if we are. I love you all. I really do. But if we're not talking about actionable items, I don't want to talk at all. God bless you. God bless you. I'm out of here. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for tuning in. IamSacEvents.org, IamSacFoundation.com. You join this movement. You become a member. You let me know your actionable items. You let me know how you can help. You let me know what you want to do. Life and legacy, number love.